That's against the Cubbies. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup. We shift sites here now. So time for Washington to take advantage this evening. I like the Vegas story. I think it's a nice story. I'm still rooting for Washington to win. I'm still. I can't even get a real prediction out of you. You've been back and forth in the whole series. You've been vacillating too much. You know, you really have had no conviction.
I have no rooting interest.
Yeah, but you have no conviction either. You don't know who's going to win the series. You really don't. You've been wishy-washy on the whole series.
I'm going to go Washington now.
Yeah, now you're going Washington because they've won one. I'm hoping Washington wins. I really
think they do a big opening in D.C.
I hope not. Not like this.
Trump will be there.
The stupid stuff last time. How about Vegas? See, Delaware's going to beat Jersey up next Tuesday. Is it 12 o'clock?
1:30.
Tuesday at 1:30. They're going up, right?
Couple of tracks, yeah.
You can where can you bet next?
Dover Downs.
Dover Downs. I know Dover Downs. And what's the other one?
Arrington Park.
Arrington Park and Dover Downs in the state of Delaware. You can bet. And what can you wager on? Anything?
Single games, futures.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Okay. Is there wagering on any mobile vehicles yet? Not really. You can't wager on an iPhone or something like that,
I haven't
right?
seen apps yet.
Okay. So Delaware beats Jersey out of the gate.
Yeah.
They say Pennsylvania's not far behind.
And New Jersey as well.
And New Jersey, those three, correct. New York is lagging badly, and California is in the clouds.
I gotta see if I can get here at 3 from 1:30 in Delaware.
Delaware. I've been to Delaware Park many years ago.
Nice track.
As in Dover, Delaware.
Delaware Park's different.
Yeah, but that's in Dover, Delaware, though,
yes.
Delaware Park. I was at Delaware Park one time. I raced a horse there a while ago. Nice little park, nice little track. Cute little track. Keith in Hazlet, New Jersey. What's up, Keith?
Hey, Mike. How are you, brother?
Good. What's happening?
I was with Brad Thomas on Monday, so Monmouth is definitely ready for sports betting. All the windows are up. Everything's ready to rock.
Yeah,
but,
well, just take Brad's bets and run to the window. That's it.
My big question is for you. Are we going to see another Triple Crown winner? Justify looks like a monster, but is it going to get the distance?
The good thing about it is that we will not know until we turn for home whether that race took a lot out of Justify. He's held his weight, which is a good sign. He's trained well, which is a good sign. And to me, but until he turns for home, you will not know. Now, I've been very puzzled by these reports. I find the reports almost hard to fathom. But first of all, I was shocked to see Baffert might put another horse in the race. Made no sense to me. And then the idea that he might put a rabbit in really made very little sense to me, because Justify is a horse that wants to sit very close to the pace, if not right on the pace. Why would you put a rabbit in to make the pace extreme if you intend on sitting on the pace? So unless there's a change of tactics here, which I find hard to fathom, I'm surprised that he would put a rabbit in the race. First of all, he should not even think of putting another horse in. That if he ever beat his own horse for a Triple Crown, I don't even know what you say about that. So I can't even think that's even possible. But he can't put a rabbit in if Justify was a horse that was coming off the pace like Strike the Gold, you know. But this is a horse that wants to really be on the pace. So why would you want to put him next to put a rabbit in there? So I find it hard to think that it's going to happen. We'll wait and see. There's a couple of now horses that are, you know, hot horses that you're hearing the names of. Mott's horse that ran in the Derby is one that's getting a lot of attention. Hofberg, he's getting a lot of attention. There'll be a couple more this week. It looks like we will get a field of 12 or so for the Belmont. Should be a good race. There's a lot of good racing Friday and Saturday. We will be out there with the show on Friday, as always. We'll also do a lot of Yankee Mets, though, for that day. But, we'll have Aaron Boone that day, the Yankee Mets that day from Citi Field. But we'll also be out there for the Triple Crown, as we always are. So we will be there for that. So out there with the show next Friday. And check out Justify. I'm thinking maybe I go over and see Justify, sometime on Friday. Maybe we can arrange that with Baffert. We can just go by and see him sometime earlier in the day before we do the show. I'd like to do that. I'd like to, go over and see if we can get a look at him. Then we do that. Joe in Staten Island. What's up, Joe? What's happening?
I'm only 23 years old. I didn't grow up watching Jordan, but I feel incredibly blessed that I'm watching this guy, LeBron James, put on the shows that he's putting on every single night. My question is, you obviously were witnessing Jordan when he was in his prime. Do you think that Michael would be able to take this Cavs team currently and run with this Warriors team?
No.
Not at all. You don't even think
No, it's for this reason. They are both great. They're different. I think Michael would need better players because his talents are not as varied. His talents are more streamlined than LeBron's. LeBron plays all positions. He does all things. He is not the scorer or shooter. Now, last night, the way he shot, last night, LeBron is not only the best player in the world right now, he's the best player in the world ever when he shoots like that, because the rest of his game has so much depth and quality and versatility that if he shoots like that, there's nothing that could ever hold him back. When he has games like that, but he's not often that shooter like he was last night. Last night he was lethal, absolutely lethal. And, bombing threes. He came up a couple times and just made some outrageous threes and just, stuff like that, and made some crazy shots. This was after he took a bad shot to the eye where you saw actually his eye was, clearly injured early in the game. Last night was a remarkable performance, but that's not knocking Jordan. I would say this. Jordan was a better closer than LeBron in that if he needed one shot, that was his forte. He was better at it than LeBron is. But LeBron would bring more to a team that needed everything than Jordan would because he can do everything. Michael couldn't pass with LeBron. He couldn't rebound with LeBron. He didn't have LeBron's size. John in Oxford. What's up, John?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking the call.
What's happening?
Hey, on the whole block charge call, I agree with everything you're saying there. But you made a comment, and you're not the only one I've heard who have said this. Based upon the fact that it was LeBron, you can't make that call. That bothers me, because that means that these officials have to worry about which player they're making a call on top of everything else.
Well, it's always been a superstar league, though. It's always been a league that favors the superstar player.
Does that make legitimate officiating rules?
But it's not the first factor, but it's always been that way, which makes the call even more puzzling because the guy who's the great star doesn't usually get that call against him. He doesn't.
Now, does that mean that it was because it was Durant? Did Durant offset
yes,
LeBron?
absolutely did. Did it neutralize it? Yes, it did. It absolutely did. If you want to know the truth, did it do that? Would they have put the call another way if it wasn't Durant? No, I don't think they would have. I agree with you. I think
Mike, let me ask you.
That neutralized the call. You had the two best players in the league going head to head. That neutralized the call.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
Watching that game, I thought that it was Mike. I am devastated they lost. I thought a win there would have changed how that series was going to be looked at. Was that loss mentally more devastating to Cleveland or helping Cleveland?
Mentally devastating. Because I'll tell you why. They thought they played as well as they can play. They know they can play. They know they probably can't play that well again in Game 2. I
feel the same way.
They played really well, and that's the thing. Even LeBron knows that. They played at the top of their game, and they lost. It's mentally devastating. That game's going to have their head coach has got a real job getting their chins off the floor here, because they know. And worst thing is LeBron knows that was an incredible missed opportunity, and that his team. Listen, they. Not only did LeBron shoot the ball exquisitely, but on top of that, he got plays out of Nance last night. They had 19-4 on the offensive glass. Golden State had 4 offensive rebounds. They had 19. They out-rebounded them by 15 rebounds. That's going to be hard to duplicate. Sean in Clinton, Connecticut. What's up, Sean?
Yeah, hey Mike. You were just talking about the call with LeBron and the reviewing of the charge.
Sure. Yes.
And and it sparked the conversation about bringing that into the NFL and not kind of reviewing all the pass interferences because it's a foul, like a 60-yard pass brings them on the 1-yard line. They don't want to do what they do in college because they'll just bring everybody down. But can't they look at something like, maybe not a runoff on the clock or something if they do that, so then you don't get that, and that'll deter them from just bringing somebody down because now they got the 15 yards and you don't get that runoff, and it takes that 60-yarder away. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
You lost me. So you're in the NFL, you're not making it a spot foul, you're making it a 15-yard foul, but what happens?
Yeah, but just not having, the clock run off for the play. So this way, if it's the end of the game and you throw a deep pass and they're just bringing them down just to give them 15 yards because rather than give them that because they're burned on the play, you don't lose the time on the clock. It's pretty much a free play. You get 15 yards and it takes away that 60-yard bomb that gives up the game. And I think it could solve for a lot of the issues you see in the NFL around these massive gains on a pass interference that could go either way if you have to start reviewing every play. I think there needs to be something done there, and it's just something that really sparked my, thought process around, there's got to be something we can do to solve that, and it sounds like a viable option. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I'm missing something. I don't see how it's a viable option. You pulled the guy down. Why wouldn't they pull him down again?
Because you're giving up 15 yards on the play, and you're giving them a first down, and they're not losing that important time at the end of the game. It's a runoff on the clock that you're saving, and they're getting 15 yards closer to a touchdown, field goal at the end of the game, and it deters the other team from just pulling them down.
I don't think they are going to do that and make it that the play didn't take any time off the clock. I don't think that would work. I don't think they would do that because then you could be there forever. Every time he pulls them down, there's no run off of the clock where you could be running the play 8 or 10 times in a row. What happens if you ran the play 4 times in a row? Wouldn't it be a little ludicrous? Dave in Rockefeller Center. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
What's happening?
Mike, I've been a LeBron detractor in the past, but that's history. And regarding LeBron's performance last night and his performance so far in these playoffs, are we going to see, assuming he performs in the next games, win or lose, the way he did last night, are we going to see possibly, nobody's talking about this, for the first time since Jerry West did it, an MVP coming from a losing team? I mean, he can be the MVP of this series if he performs the way he did last night. And, the guys on Golden State, they haven't had, their series against the Rockets, they didn't play great ball. They weren't dominating players. Durant last night was absent. Curry was good. He wasn't dominating. Can LeBron be that guy to be the MVP from a losing team this year?
When he didn't, you see, the MVP has changed because the MVP now is very much tied to marketing, and they don't want it to be anything but a feel-good story. So they don't want a guy from the losing team in that situation because.
But he is eligible, right?
Well, he's really, but no one votes for him. And a couple of years ago, when LeBron lost, his numbers were so overwhelming. He averaged a triple-double, but he averaged a triple-double for the series. But he averaged a triple-double for that series, and they did not give him the MVP. And he was the MVP by a mile, and they didn't give it to him in a losing effort. So I don't think they would give it to him again. I really don't. Back after this.